Good afternoon. So today we will speak about future trends in political management and political communication, and about global trends in this sphere, which we can use in our practice. So first trend, it's individual communications. Of course, now we have many conversation about big data, about micro-targeting, and about also big data analysis, about DMV systems, about political software with micro-targeting, and so on and so forth. We have such lectures on our YouTube channel, but today I wanna to discuss actually about trends. So here in UK, like all over the world, individual political marketing and individual political management, also one of the most popular consulting offers. So how it works and how we can use these practices in our countries all over the world. Firstly, you must understand that big data, it's not about you personally, not about me as Kate, but about me as a customer of internet service. So if you go to some website, you can see offers that you agree with cookie policy. So firstly, companies who collect big data, they take your cookie files and they take your digital footprint from different resources. So firstly, they can take, for example, data from some app in Facebook, and we as political managers can understand your psychotype only on open data. It's important to understand because when you, for example, agree with conditions of some app in Facebook, you give access to your personal information. For example, to you open post on your page, to you open albums with photo, and so on and so forth. And now machine learning work, and machine learning can give to political manager information about your mood, about your psychotype, so you extrovert or introvert, about your behavior, and so on and so forth. Then, for example, they can take information from Craigslist or from Airbnb or other services where you take some products, or give some advertising or look some advertising. So it's also important information to understand your economical behavior. Also, this data can collect from your mobile phone, from your moving in free apps, free GPS app, for example, from your interests, and so on and so forth. I think that mostly of customers understand that if you take free service, so if you don't want to buy some app, or if you don't want to pay for some social network, they of course use your data to show direct to you some advertising, or maybe also to give this data not personally about you, but about you as customer, to some services. And for sure, this data, for example, used in some good projects, for example, in traffic monitoring. I think that you all know Waze platform. It's platform for optimization car traffic. So they also use data from your mobile phone and from your car and to optimize your road to home or to work. So that's why after focus groups you can create some individual messages and use these messages for different people with different visualization. You must understand that you must have one single message, but visualization or type of ads can be differ to different voters group, or to different group of stakeholders in your advocacy campaign. So individual micro-targeting, it's first trend which is important to understand in our new world. Second trend, it's as I think, it's globalization and also crisis of ideological political forces. Here you must see example of Europe. For example, in Germany, from the period of Second World War, they have stable ideological political forces. For example, Christian Democrats, Social Democrats, Green parties, and so on and so forth. And it starts from the period of Adenauer economical wonder, when after Second World War in Germany they have leader Konrad Adenauer, and he do really amazing economical wonder in Germany, and people also from his political force, they were one of creators of European Union and all. And that's why people for a long time wanted to vote for those type of political forces. They believe to them, and this ideological memes and ideological basis, values as solidarity, for example, were understandable for most part of people. And of course, all memory about Second World War, about this tragedy, were very clear for every voter. Now you see that right movement very popular in European Union, and also very popular campaigns against European bureaucracy and campaigns against also big international structures. You can see these trends also in Trump political program. That's why it's important to understand that classical political ideology doesn't exist for this time in their first creation stable positions. So so the next trend, it's trend of crisis of pooling methods. So as usual, we can use focus groups and also face-to-face pooling. But now you also can see in campaign some panels for 10,000 persons who taken part in your pool, and for example in pool for Jews and so on and so forth. So it can be professional poolster, and you can miss some quality elements, so some stereotypes which are very deep. Of course, now we have new trends of neuromarketing and also of big data analytics, but you must understand that we must use all these tools together because every of tool can have advantages and disadvantages, and we can miss some important position for strategy when we use only, for example, a panel. And in campaign of Mrs. Hillary Clinton, Secretary Clinton, they use mostly big pools and big panels, and they didn't use neuromarketing like Obama used. That's why in number of voters Hillary won, but in American political system, electors elect Mr. Trump, but in number of votes Hillary take more votes, and it's also because of type of pooling, but not only because of it. And the next trend, it's of course trend of rising populism, and for sure, if you use micro-targeting, you can use or big data analysis or some very progressive political software. It can use in some developed democracies, political markets, and markets of political management, but also in some not good and not stable political regimes, authoritarian political regimes, and we must understand it. And for sure, if you take message, if you take radical message, and if you take not tolerant message, it also can work because of crisis of classical political ideology, because of losing remember and position after Second World War, and because of new problems of globalization and new civilization problems, for example, between different cultural dialogues and so on and so forth. And some countries in their political leadership model, they use these differences to build their foreign policy. So that's why it's main trends, so crisis in pooling, micro-targeting and individual political campaigning, also crisis of classical ideology and radical movement and rising populism in new world, and of course new political tools, new tools in political communication. You must understand it and also use all these tools with big responsibility and with understanding of ethical issues of work, you as a political manager.